personally, I ain't finna be friends with no bitch that tell me that she don't fuck with me for real. She just tolerate me, bitch. I ain't nothing. No, we not doing that. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Makaya Vanier, and I am back again with another video. As y'all can tell from the title, this is the second story time in like my HBCU college series about the crazy shit that happened to me when I was a college student. Okay, so in the last story time that I posted, I told you about the time that me and Taylor caught a case. But this story time was about the friendship from hell. So this takes place before me and Taylor caught that case. So this happened probably, all this shit happened so fast. So this happened probably about 2 or 3 weeks before the whole case, catching the case incident happened with me and Taylor. So I'm kind of working backwards, I know, but like every time, like when I told that story, like it made me think of this story, so that's why it's kind of like out of order. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified every single time that I'm posting. I'm going to be dropping a whole lot more story times, chat, because my life is crazy. Again, I'm going to put another disclaimer in here. This is my life, and I'm solely posting this stuff for entertainment purposes. This did happen about 5 years ago, when I was a freshman in college. If you don't know, if you didn't watch the first video, go watch the first video and you'll see the whole disclaimer. I'm not using nobody's real names. This happened 5 years ago. That's gonna be that, right? So, if you have any questions about this hair, honey, because I didn't even mention it in the last video, but this hair is from Unice hair, and I absolutely love it. I will have a link down in the description box below. If you are a beginner, like wig wearer like me, because honey, I don't be knowing, like I know a little bit, I know the basics about the lace, but honey, I don't know all of it. I'm not arrogant Tate with the lace. And then that, let's get right into this story time. This is about the friendship from hell. If you all watched the first story time, which you should, go watch that before you watch this. I'll link it up in the cards and in the description box below. I mentioned that when I first went to college, I went to college with this girl that I knew from high school. Like, we went together. She was the only person that I had came to school already knowing. So me and her, like when we first like got to campus, like freshman week, we spent like every day together, like getting to know people. She did not stay in the same dorm as me. We were not roommates. I didn't have a roommate at the time, but I eventually got one, and that's gonna be another story time because that was nuts. But so yeah, so her dorm was on the complete opposite side of campus from me. But during freshman week, she came over, and you know, we was like, of course, getting to know campus together, getting to know our new city, like just chilling, like hanging out, meeting new people. So she was a completely different major than me. Like I said in the last story time, I was a political science major at the time when I went to school, and I think she was health sciences, maybe. It wasn't necessarily nursing, but I don't think it was like bio either. So I think she was like health science, something like that. So she had a lot of classes on the health sciences campus, which was downtown, and my classes was on the main campus. So, and of course, like I mentioned in the last video, at our particular school, they would group you by major, and then they would break those groups down even smaller, and whoever you were in that group with, y'all pretty much had the same schedule. So she had been making friends just like I was making friends. She had met these two particular girls. I'm going to call the first one, we're going to call the first one Casey. And then we're going to call Casey's best friend, we're going to call her Simone. So yeah, me and Jada came from the same hometown. We went to the same high school. And then Casey and Simone also came from the same hometown in Tennessee and went to the same high school. Around this time, I was hanging out with them a little bit more than I was hanging out with Taylor and them, because I didn't know Taylor and them that well, but I knew Jada. So like I said, when we first got to campus, we was like with each other, like we're gonna ride to the end, sis, like we came here together, we're gonna leave here together type shit. So I'm hanging out with them, and it was cool vibes. Like they was funny, I'm funny, like we all like cracking jokes on each other. Like it's cool. Like we would play games. We would go do homework together. Casey and Simone was telling us about their hometown, because their hometown is a big city. Like I'm not gonna say it because privacy reasons, but it's a big city, and so they was telling us about how they grew up, their high school, like all that stuff. And we telling them the same thing about our hometown, like the stuff that we do. So we was really just getting to know each other and hanging out and stuff. So so Casey and Simone, they're both gay, like they're both gay women, and so I mean that don't phase me, like it don't. Yeah, that's just what you do. So I'm like, all right, it don't bother me. But Jada, I'm not gonna say, I don't really know for sure what, like, if she had like a particular preference, or if she was just experimenting. So I'm not even gonna say that, but I do know that she had dated guys, and so I'm thinking, like, I'm peeping, like, as we, of course, hanging out, getting to know each other, I'm peeping that Casey is, like, really starting to feel Jada. Like, I can see, like, the little flirting and all that stuff. They flirting back and forth. So I'm like, all right, I mean, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, if that's what y'all want to do, that's what y'all want to do, right? So, as time goes on, like I said, we've just been kicking it, like, hanging out. We've been going to the football games together, like, we doing it up. We was constantly hanging out on campus. Like, we would stay out late on campus just talking, all that stuff. Eventually, I started bringing, like, Taylor and our other friends around, because, like, I hang out with everybody, and so it was like, whatever, we could all just chill and have a good time. So at our school, we had, like, the student center. So when you walk in, you're on the main level of the student center, and it's like open seating and all that stuff. You can chill, hang out. But if you go all the way down to the basement, there's a game room. And so me and Taylor, and I guess we can name our other friend in this video, because she's gonna come up in this game. She's gonna come up in this story. We're gonna call her Key. Okay. So at this point, it is me and Jada. So we're gonna split it up, okay? So on this side I got Jada, Casey, and Simone, and on this side I got Taylor and Key. And so in total it's 6 of us, right? So this particular night, I was already downstairs in the game room with Key and Taylor, and then I think that I want to say that Jada texted me and asked me what I was doing. And I told her, and I was like, y'all should come down here too, because she was with Casey and Simone. So they come down there. We all like playing Uno, we playing cards, we joking on each other. I want y'all to keep this in mind. When we was downstairs, like in the game room, reception was like really spotty. So like sometimes you would have service and sometimes you wouldn't, because we're in the basement and it's an old building. So sometimes we'll be able to get connection and we'll get text messages, or sometimes it would just like go out, like, and the Wi-Fi wouldn't work. So, but I'm not thinking nothing of that. I'm chilling, we playing cards. I had asked Casey if I could use her charger because my phone was dying, and she was like, yeah. So I was charging it. I plugged my phone up or whatever. We continue playing Uno, and just talking, laughing. Everything is a vibe, right? And then so after we get finished playing Uno, I noticed that Casey was on her phone, but like I'm not thinking nothing of it because everybody's on their phone. Like we're texting. I remember like I was scrolling on Twitter or something, and so like it's just a vibe. Everybody just be on their phone. So eventually, I think the game room closed at maybe at like 10 or 11. 10 or 10. I want to say 10:30. I think the game room closed at like 10:30. So it's around that time, and the little guy that was like doing security down there, like checking everybody's IDs, he was like, "It's time for y'all to go. Like, we gotta close the game room." So we get up and leave, and we all still kikiing, like laughing, like just joking and all this stuff. So we finally get upstairs and go outside of the student center, and like my service starts to come back. So I'm getting all these text messages like from the group chat that I was in with Jada, Casey, and Simone, and I seen that Casey had sent a text while we was downstairs talking about some I don't like these vibes. So I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, and nobody else responded in the text. So I'm like, Casey, what was you talking about? What you mean you don't like the vibes? And so she was like, I don't like how you're being two-faced. So I'm going to take this back to earlier that day. Remind y'all, I said that we would constantly crack jokes on each other because that's what we would do. Like, we would just, no hard feelings and none of that. At this time, and I'm going to insert a picture of me. At this time, my hair was like super short. Like, I had done a second big chop, and I had took my braids out. So, like, I'm rocking my little teensy weensy afro, my TWA. And at the time, Jada's hair was short too. So I had went down to, like, I had met Casey and Simone in the caf earlier that day after class, and we were waiting on Jada. So Casey and Simone is sitting at one of the high tables that had like the two high chairs, and like I'm standing. So the two high chairs is like right here, and then like I'm standing in front of them, right? And so I'm like, where does bald-headed bitch Jada at? Like, because that's what we would do. Like, we would joke on each other about not having no hair because we was both bald-headed at the time. So I'm like, where's this bald-headed bitch Jada at? Like, where's she at? Because she was running late. She was supposed to meet with us. And so I'm not thinking nothing of it. Everybody laughs, and we're chilling, and then eventually Jada comes. Going back to where we was leaving the student center. So I'm like, Casey, like, what weird vibes are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? She was like, and then she goes, well, I don't like how you can talk about Jada behind her back, but then sit here and laugh and joke in her face. So I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I said, and she was like, when we was waiting on her earlier, you kept calling her a bald-headed bitch. So I was like, but we all call her bald-headed bitch. We call each other bald-headed bitch because we both bald-headed. Like, so I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, but this is not nothing new. And the whole time Jada is like sitting there like she's silent. Like, so I don't know. I'm assuming that they had already told her that I was talking about her behind her back, but they failed to mention that they used to talk shit about her too, especially Casey, because Casey was the one that was flirting with her. Like, yeah. So, and then because of that, Casey and Jada used to fall out like all the time. So like they would fall out and then get back cool, like just regular shit. So I'm minding my business. Like I said, that ain't got shit to do with me. I'm like, but this is not a new joke. Like, this is some shit we say on the regular. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, I just think that shit is fake. Da da da. Mind you, I still got her charger in my hand. Like, I had unplugged it from the wall, but like I didn't unplug the charger from my phone. And so Taylor and Key is like standing over to my right, and then Jada, Casey, and Simone is on my left. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even finna do this because I'm not a confrontational ass bitch. I don't like arguing, especially over something that's stupid. So I took Casey's charger out of my phone and I handed it back to her. And so I turned around and I said, come on, Taylor and Key, let's go. So we leaving. We get to walking towards Key's dorm. And like we're just walking and talking and shit. And Taylor looks at me. She's like, "What was that about?" And I tell her, I'm like, I guess she's mad. I guess she's been telling Jada that I've been talking about her because I call her a bald-headed bitch. But I'm like, at the same time, we've been calling each other this the whole semester. Like, that has been the joke ever since I took my braids out. And I'm not insecure about not having no hair because I cut my hair off. So I cut my hair off by choice. So, like, it don't bother me. But I was like, she ain't never say nothing about it. Like, we've always laughed and joked about it. So I'm thinking, like, this is nothing new. And so they're like, oh, yeah, like, that's petty. Like, that's real petty. And like I said, Jada and Casey used to fall out all the time. Like, in this, I want to say maybe a couple weeks prior to that, they had fell out. And Casey had, like, specifically told Jada, like, I don't even fuck with you for real. I just tolerate you. So from that point, personally, I ain't finna be friends with no bitch that tell me that she don't fuck with me for real. She just tolerate me, bitch. I ain't nothing. No, we not doing that. Either you fuck with me or you don't. So they friendship was like real rocky. Anyways, so me, Taylor, and Key, we just steady walking and talking about it, whatever. We finally get around to where Key's dorm is, and these hoes is like standing there waiting on us. And so I'm like, what type of shit y'all got going on? Like, what's up? So, Jada just comes up to me. Jada comes up to me. She's like, well, I just want to talk. Like, I don't want to argue with you. I don't understand, like, why you're going behind my back talking about me and calling me all types of names and stuff. And so I'm like, Jada, you know that we joke on each other like this all the time. Why are you acting brand new? Like, why are you acting like we wasn't just kikiing about it yesterday? Like, I don't understand. And so Casey didn't say nothing else. Not Casey. Jada didn't say nothing else. And so Casey steps up and is like, well, I think you're being a fake friend and you shouldn't be talking about your friends like that. Don't nobody talk about their friends like that. I'm like, but bitch, you've been calling her a bald-headed bitch too. What are you talking about? So at this point, no. At this point, Taylor's like, bro, let's just drop it because this is childish. Like, there's no point in going back and forth over a name that y'all been calling each other. Like, this is stupid. So I'm like, yeah. So yeah, at this point, Taylor's like let's just drop this because this shit is childish. Like, come on now, like, grow up. Like, anybody finna keep going back and forth over a name y'all been calling each other, like all that shit. And we trying to like walk around them so we can finish like dropping Key off at her dorm so we can go on back to our dorm because me and Taylor lived in the same dorm. So Casey like steps in front of Key and like trying to like block us from going over there and like still like going off at the mouth, like just talking about but that's some fake shit, like just going on and on and on about how I was being a fake friend, just doing all types of shit. So eventually Key's like, bro, like get out my face, like I'm trying to go to my room, like don't nobody got time for this. And so like she starts getting loud. So Simone step in and is like, well, you don't gotta be yelling like that. You don't gotta be yelling at my friend like that, And so I will never forget this. Key said, I'm outside, so I'm gonna use my outside voice. I said, bro, what? I was weak. Like I'm dying like on the inside, but on the outside, you know, I gotta keep it playing, gotta keep it G. So she's like, yeah, I'm outside, so I'm gonna use my outside voice. And so they get to going like back and forth. Key and Simone get to going back and forth. And then so I look at Jada, so I'm like, Jada, you really just gonna sit here and believe that I'm just gonna sit here and talk cash shit about you? Like, we've been friends way longer than you've known these bitches. Like, we've been friends since, because technically Jada is a year older than me. So Jada was a grade above me, and I've been on her since my freshman year. But since I graduated early, we graduated at the same time. So I'm like, Jada, you've been knowing me since my freshman year of high school. Like, we've been cool since my freshman year of high school. You really gonna sit here and take these bitches' word over mine? Like, that's really what you about to do? And she was like, well, they saying that you've been talking about me for a long time. I said, Jada, you really gonna be friends with a bitch that says she only tolerates you? Like, this bitch don't even like you for real. But you gonna take her word? You gonna take her word? I said, okay, bet. So after I said that, Casey gonna hold about something. I never said that. I never said that I only tolerated her. I said I only tolerate the shit that she does. And I was like, no, that is absolutely not what you said. I said, we was all sitting in the student center. When you literally looked her dead in the eye and said, I don't fuck with you for real. I just tolerate you. Bitch, what? So Jada was like, well, she didn't really mean that. And we had already squashed it. Like, we already talked about it. Like, we cool, whatever. I said, cool. So go ahead and keep being the little puppy dog that you is. And keep following behind the bitch that only tolerates you. And after that, We finally like walk away. We drop Key off at her dorm, and then me and Taylor walks back to our dorm. At this point, I didn't get what happened? Me and Taylor's steady talking about like what happened, because I'm just like, this shit is stupid. She's like, yeah, that is dumb. Like, why would they, like, they've been plotting for real. They really didn't fuck with you. Like, they just been waiting for, you know, some shit to happen for them to like start an argument with you and all this type of shit. And I'm like, yeah. I said they really was. And I don't understand like why. Like, I ain't never did shit to none of these bitches. Like, we cool. Like, we was cool. And so, and up until this point, like, I had thought nothing of it. Like I mentioned earlier, Casey and Jada have been like kind of flirting with each other, but like I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm just like, that's what you want to do. And so Taylor was like, well, do they like each other? Like, are they a couple? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting there like, girl, I don't know. Like, because I don't. I said, I don't know. And she was like, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like they like each other, whatever. That I didn't fuck with them no more. So I'm like, I'm solely like chilling with Taylor and Key. And then we also had another friend. I don't think I'm going to name her in this story time. I don't think I'm going to name her at all. Because, yeah, she was our well, I could. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to give her a name or not. Because she plays a role, but not really. So I don't think she deserves a name in the series. But yeah, so like we would be kicking it and all that stuff. And so like moving forward, like I would run into Jada and Simone and Casey on campus, and they would just like give me like the dirtiest looks. Bitch, I don't fuck with y'all, and I don't care about them dirty ass looks, because y'all did me fucking dirty. Like, why would you even play like that? Why would you play on my top like that? So, like I said, moving forward, I'm chilling with Taylor and Key, and like we start building like this real close friendship. And then after that, like we was hanging out every day, all day, every day. Mind you, me and Taylor we was already taking classes together. So like after that, our bond just grew from there, and we became really close. Eventually, we ended up falling out too, but that was like that happened about a year and a half later. So we was like real good friends. Like I told y'all in the last story time, like we ended up transferring together, like going back home and like still talking and being cool and all this other shit. So yeah, that was the story of like the friendship from hell from when I went to HBCU. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all found it funny. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I always want to know what you would have done in the situation, or how y'all felt about it. Either way it goes, at this point I can't change the past, so it's like, you know, your comments are your comments, your opinion is your opinion. I value all of it. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. So yeah, comment down below what you would have done in the situation. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching and for rocking with me. Make sure y'all hit that like button and the subscribe, as well as the notification bell, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.